welcome to our Abra Alerts product presentation. The Abra Alert system works specifically with all of the Abra modules: human resources, payroll, recruiting, training, and attendance. The Abra Alert system does two different things with the Abra databases. First of all, it monitors the database for any changes of information or updates or additions of information to the database. It also monitors the database for events that are occurring based on specific date ranges. The idea behind Abra Alerts is that it incorporates an email workflow to help notify other employees and managers in your organizations of specific functions occurring in either human resources, recruiting, payroll, or employee training. Let me give you an example of how one of these particular alerts would work. Let's say we're going through a new hire process, and once we hire somebody new to the organization, we want to welcome them to the company and send them a couple of human resource and payroll forms that they need to fill out for their new hire process. In this particular example, we're going to create a new hire email, and you can see we can incorporate some different comments about the alert that we're building. Send a notification over to the new hire, attach a human resource form as well as a W-4 form. I want this particular process to be scheduled, and I want it to run once a day. As you can see from this pull-down list, there's several different ways to schedule these particular alerts running through the application. Once a day, once a week, once a month, quarterly, yearly, or you can also have specific alerts running continuously if there's frequently changed information in the database that you want to have prompted some sort of workflow. If we look at the individual steps, the first step of execution is to actually go out here and monitor the Abra database for new hires, again based on our schedule, which is once a day. If we go out here and look at some detail tied to that particular monitoring process, you can see this is where we designate the individual fields that we're going to monitor out there in the Abra system. Again, these particular fields can be specific to the products in Abra that you're using. Next, we'll go out and look at the steps. The next step that we're going to perform is send an email to the employee. You're not limited to just sending out one email based on a particular event out here in the system. So let's say, for example, you go through a new hire process and you want to send this email to an employee, but maybe you want to send an email over to the IT director as well, letting the IT person know that this new person's been hired, that they need a laptop, that they need a door badge, and maybe some other IT-based equipment. You can have as many emails sent out of the system as you want, and again, you can also attach different documents to these particular emails. In this particular example, we're going to look at the email to the employee and look at some of the detail here. As far as sending out the email, in this particular example, I just put my email address, but normally you would have default the email address of the new employee. The subject of the email would be new employment information verification, and you're able to send these particular emails out to your Exchange server, a MAPI, or SMTP mail server. This is where you can go format your mail server information. The next area allows you to format the message itself. So you can actually go out, create the text, have information from the employee's record fill in the text, and then the last thing, designate the attachments that you want to have appear in the email that's being sent out. Again, there's no limitation as far as the number of emails that you can send out. There's no limitation as far as the attachments, and you can monitor the database for different changes and things as frequently as you want. In this particular example, we're monitoring the database for new information being added to the system. You can also monitor the system for other events, such as an employee review. That information would already be set up in the database, but that review is based on a specific date range. What you can do is have the system monitor specific dates out here in the application and proactively send out emails to managers and other areas in your organization based on particular functions that need to be performed. So if you have a manager that needs to give an employee a review, you can set up functionality in the Abra Alert system so that a proactive email will be sent out perhaps a couple weeks in advance to notify the manager that a review needs to take place. You can also send out two emails, one to the employee to notify them that they're going to get their review, and the second one would be the email to the manager, and that particular email could also have an employee review form attached to it as well to help begin the process. Sky's the limit as far as the number of alerts that you can go out here and build in the system. Depending on the information that you have in the different databases, maybe you want people notified about certain applicants that are being reviewed for positions in your company. Maybe you want to send emails congratulating employees on completing specific training classes, Or if you want to just monitor different processes in the system based on HR or payroll functionality, you can have workflow based on email notifications set up in the Abra Alerts product. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time.